Item on the agenda is the Newtown Corporation. Mr. Tyrol would like to speak on this.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. When I was first requested to be put on the agenda, I felt that I would be bringing you up to speed as to what the Newtown Corporation was doing. However, based on the comments from the last meeting that I attended, it clearly seems to me that there's been a communication breakdown. As a result of that, things have been misconstrued, alienated, and basically non-productive. I do feel Bob Walker's statements from the February meeting were on the nose. Others were not. For the record, I've distributed our mission statement, and the purpose has not changed and is pretty much the same as what we've been doing all along. At the joint meeting on 1/28, I thought we made the strategy fairly clear moving forward about unification and communication for the betterment of Newtown community, both businesses and residents alike. I think there has been too much misinformation about Newtown Corp and the Main Street Manager program. The prior executive director did a great job. She contributed over $900,000 in fundraising grants to the borough of Newtown. It was a tremendous achievement. The only difference that I see when I came on the board as a new board member, that the transition of the Main Street Manager program to the Newtown Corp was difficult, and the communication was poor as well as the delegation. When I first attended the first quarter of meetings, basically the entire meeting was taken up by debate over bylaws. As a new member and the other fellow appointees, we scratched our heads saying, what are we doing? The action plans are great, the mission statements are great, but we wanted to see some accomplishment. The committees were very mysterious, and as far as I could see, the only committee that met with any regularity at that point was a promotions committee, which Dave Callahan did a great job, and the Brew Fest was very successful. But all the other things I didn't really understand, or did I think they accomplished anything. At several meetings, there was a debate over independence to exhaustion. I remember a couple times that supervisors and borough councilmen alike, the liaisons, got into a pretty heated debate over things. And really, it just seems so non-productive. The June meeting, we asked for some, I guess, info on the Brewfest, and for whatever reason, that was not available. I was then asked to perform a risk analysis as an insurance professional, and it was clear to me that many of the decisions that were made regarding insurance and liabilities was made solely at the discretion of the executive director. And in my mind, the tail was wagging the dog. So I looked at a few things, and one of the glaring things was the Newtown Creek Coalition. We had no coverage for water-related activities. So if a young child or an adult had been hurt somehow, guess what? It would have been a very difficult situation. The Newtown Corp, in my eyes, was an employer. We had no workers' comp policy. The 325 Gala had no liquor law liability. The security provider for the Brewfest, I called him on a Thursday for his certificate because I was concerned about assault and battery, and he received a letter saying we don't need as many constables. I felt that was really concerning, and he said, I'm not even going to show up because I fear for the safety of the public as well as my men. And I inquired, I said, how much is that worth? He said, about $150. I said, I got it covered. Barney, please show up. And he got his fee, and it was the normal constables that showed up. The executive director, I wanted to understand the work comp relationship, so I requested a copy of the employment agreement. The employment agreement was very vague and needed to be updated. That's the simple fact of the matter. As soon as I saw it, I gave it to the executive committee, which I was not even part of at the time. I want to clarify, at no time in either an executive committee meeting or a board meeting in December was there any discussion of termination. The executive committee meeting was spent significant time on the executive director's package related to job description and compensation issues. We were confused, basically, why this was not on the agenda for the 12/10 meeting. However, it needed to be on the table, and it was discussed just 2 days earlier in executive committee. Again, I think it's a communication issue. On the 12/10 meeting, we proceeded in normal fashion with 2 members who had holiday commitments. The remaining board members questioned the contract, the executive director's package, and was really concerned with the job description. But then someone asked about a vote of confidence. When the vote of confidence was raised, it was a unanimous decision, 7-0, to go another direction. The rest is history. But even if the other 2 board members had remained there and another one that didn't attend, the outcome would have remained the same. The executive committee meeting, Tim Botero will be working on the new contract, and where our goal is to have someone in place by 5/1. Tim is pretty much finished up with all this duty, and the board of directors will be finalizing hopefully in March. I was appointed chairman, and Paul Salvatore interim director. There was much to do when I got appointed, which I had not realized. The bottom line, when appointed chairman, the variety of issues which needed immediate action were long overdue are as follows. The accounting, which was solely controlled by the executive director for the most part, needed to be revamped, as the record keeping did leave a lot to be desired. The banking CD savings account now required 2 signatures for any and all transfers. Checking account needs, any check over $1,500 needs 2 signatures as well. Prior to that, the executive director controlled all accounts. The Main Street program is at the core of our efforts. It's key to much of what we do and is evident with the recent efforts to bring the State Street retailers over, trying to get them to get organized, like Sycamore. I think we've made some inroads there. We have more to do, and it's not just that group. We're going to work with any group. Communication is improved significantly, and we will see this effort soon come to fruition via the website. The internal communication among board members, I've never had such cooperation. The committees we reorganized and in a big way have finalized. The scope has been significantly narrowed, and the actual common sense approach focused on 1 or 2 projects does work, and it will work. If warranted at another time, I'd be happy to take each committee individually and review them. We're moving forward and headed in a positive direction. Our strategy with the Community Alliance with utilization of talents of community members will only make our group stronger. We will work with all community groups. And I'm going to turn this over to Paul Salvatore to review our mission statement and some of the recent accomplishments. I thank you for your time.